Zapisuję i już mówię kim, bo jestem księdzem Bogutą dzisiaj. No coś trzeba napić, gdzie jest jakieś wino. Piwo, sznaps, wypij, to wypij. Dobra. Nie no, to trzeba więcej. Bo to jest ksiądz Boguta. Dobra, zagadajmy do kogoś. No i jeszcze byśmy jedno wino wypili. I myślę, że teraz już można gadać z kimś. Tylko z kim? Rabin Juda.
Such rare guests. One wouldn't expect to find among Christians
Wszystko
representatives
okej z
of
dźwiękiem
your
na streamie?
community. I'm Godwin. My greetings to you.
Peace be with you. Neither would one expect a priest here. And yet,
How do you know I'm a priest?
it's not difficult to tell. After all, we have much in common. And we are both a little on unfamiliar ground here. I'm Yehuda, leader of the rabbinical court in the sacred community of Gutenberg. And this is Samuel, my aide.
Who would rather not be here at all. Why did we have to come here, Sadie? Can you not see everyone is staring at us?
Because we all need to help each other in this time of need. And why would they not stare when you are frowning
Co on
so?
tak gada? Jesteśmy tu w interesach przyjaciół. Chcecie wynegocjować lepsze
Do
warunki.
you want to make use of the council to improve the status of Jews in the city?
Not at all. However, we would like to give the council something it is sorely lacking. The situation in the town and the kingdom is unsustainable. The whole land is on the brink of destruction. You have men and weapons. We have the means to sustain them.
Why are you telling this to a Koimer? You wanted to deliver what we brought to the Margrave and quickly leave.
Everything in good time, Samuel. We have just arrived, after all.
Did you come to lend money to the lords?
Not to lend, but to give.
O
Help
kurde, będą
given
rozdawać
to the
pieniądze.
needy is repaid only by God.
I
Na
don't even
pewno.
know if you can trust them. With that money, we could have paid mercenaries ourselves.
You remind me of my young friend Henry. He's a bit of a hothead too.
Henry, that messenger of Radzik Copula,
You know each other. You're both around the same age.
that would be him. But we did not get off to a very good start.
A, bo to jest ten, co nas pobił tam. Chciał nas pobić za płotem.
Henry's done a few things I'd like to give him a slap or two for. But like they say, to err is human. For a young stripling, he's been through plenty. It's not so long since his parents were killed in Skalitz. He was supposed to become a blacksmith, and instead, he's roaming the world, risking his neck at every turn.
Wait, a blacksmith, you say? From Skalitz?
Aye, that's right. Did you know anyone there?
I knew of someone. A blacksmith by the name of Martin.
My daughter knew him most, and that is why Samuel is in this world. For our numerous sins.
Maybe he was my
To z
father,
córką się?
but he certainly didn't act like one. Ma raised me on her own.
And that was all for the best.
Why? He should have taken care of me, but instead he fathered another bastard.
Don't make hasty judgments.
Co to, on jest synem tego
As far
jego
as I
ojca?
know,
Kto był ojcem
Martin
kogo?
didn't have any other children. At least, none of his own. He took in Henry and raised him as his own on the orders of the Lord of Skalitz, Sir Radzik Kobila, Henry's real father.
I don't care if he took care of 20 other mamsas.
That boy's blood father denied him. just like yours did to you.
A person can't choose their parents.
Jezu, oni są braćmi, ale nie mają wspólnego ojca.
Enough. I'd rather have a drink. Will you have one too, Zayde?
For that, there will be more suitable times.
Good health.
Good health.
L'chaim.
L'chaim. Co to jest L'chaim? Dobra, musimy to poprawić jeszcze. Musimy to jeszcze poprawić, wiecie? Już widzę, że inni też nie domagają. Ale patrzcie, nie mogę się bardziej chyba napić. Gdzie my w ogóle jesteśmy? Co jest za zamek? No, nie widzę. O, to jest... A, to jest ten...
Good health to you, sir.
Von Burband.
A friend of that
Francuz.
lad you arrived with, Henry.
A no tak, no my jesteśmy na tej imprezie przecież u rodzika.
Baron Vauquelin-Brabant, chevalier d'Arezzo. The last of my line. I am a warrior, a traveler, a strategist, and also, à ma manière, hein, a poet.
My word. Isn't that exhausting?
Mais non! And I'm glad to meet a new friend.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Baron. I knew
Jest
right
dobrze z
away
dźwiękiem,
you'd hit
dzięki
it off.
Mike. Zagrał tego Kingdom Come Deliverance, ale przy małej ilości czasu... No, ja też mam mało, ale patrz, jakoś gramy.
How come almost nobody here knows you?
I
I am
jakoś gramy,
operating, as they
wiecie.
say. Incognito.
Trzeba se
My
radzić.
great benefit is my strong connection with the French court. There, everyone knows my name. Here in Bohemia, I'm still building my reputation, slowly but surely.
You say you're a
Mówisz, że
poet.
jesteś poetą,
How about a
francuski
verse
poeta.
or two to amuse us?
Jamais. Is poetry nothing but a farce to you? Is a poet a gesture for amusement? I think not. To recite, I require the proper mood. And besides, few here would understand me.
Where have you been on your travels? Have you seen the ocean?
But of course! I was born by the sea. If you are interested in my greatest journeys, then I have traveled with a merchant caravan all the way to the Ottoman Empire. And if you are interested in my greatest deed, then that was perhaps saving the life of the King of France.
And you wouldn't by any chance know the Pope, personally?
Which one do you mean? I spoke briefly with Boniface IX when I was sojourning in Rome. A pleasant fellow.
On zna wszystkich.
How did you end up imprisoned in Malashov?
Ah, c'est une histoire compliquée. It was after I heroically led the defense of Gothenburg, and only lost it narrowly by an unfortunate turn of events.
That needs some explanation. What unfortunate turn of events?
Oh, misère. It is clear you have never been to war.
So,
Świeć mnie.
be so kind as to enlighten me.
When they broke through the defense, I ended up in captivity. It was only due to my acquaintances in a court that I escaped execution.
Oh? I thought it was Henry who saved your neck.
My neck was not at risk in Malashov. I may have still been a prisoner with my personal freedom restricted, but they never broke my spirit.
No, to jest chyba jakiś bajkopisarz, powiem wam tak teraz. Stwierdzam, bo wcześniej nie było tego widać, ale tutaj jakieś grube historie. Czekajcie, bo gdzie my jesteśmy?
Dear friends and allies,
A to jest ten Wacław,
in
nie?
these troublesome times, you all know why we're here. The question remains, what to do next? Sigismund is facing troubles in Hungary, and here, too, he is up against resistance. He's a capable strategist, but a poor diplomat. Mark my words. If we wait him out until winter, he will leave of his own accord.
By winter, he'll have torched all our fortresses and carried off everything that we possess.
Are we seriously gonna wait and cower in a corner? Or are we gonna drive them out in shame? A few well-planned raids and we could have him in our fists!
At what price? Have you got men to spare? Has any of you got men and money to spare?
We don't have men out there.
Yes, we do.
We do not.
Jobst is right. That whole sun won't fall easily.
Only we can't wait.
A to jest
we to
Jobst?
get
Ja myślałem, że to jest
ourselves
ten wacol.
killed?
End with nothing.
A może to jest to jest Jobst. Jezu święty. Człowiek się może pogubić.
Friends, we'll get nowhere like this. Let's adjourn ourselves and try to think it through.
Well, that went just as expected. Good health.
And to yours. Could it have gone any other way when there's so many of us here?
I would have expected a bit more sense from Jobst, of all people. He made an amateur's mistake. But it's hard to
Czyli
be
to nie jest
angry with
Jobst,
him when
bo
he's
to ja już
trying
nic
to
nie wiem, kto jest
ingratiate
Jobstem,
himself with
kto jest kim.
everyone. By
Ktoś
the
to
way,
wie?
I'm John of Liechtenstein.
A to jest Jan z
You must be
Liechtensteinu.
Godwin, the son of...
That's not a thing I've ever boasted of. How do you know that?
I have my sources. From what I've heard about you, I'd judge you could be quite useful to me at today's gathering.
Is that so?
Indeed. And that's why I'd like to ask something of you.
It depends what it's all about.
A little delicate diplomacy. I expect we can agree that Jobst's plan has certain shortcomings.
That's a weak word.
And the way it stands at the moment, he'll never get the support of the council. But I have an idea how to change that.
Well, I'm curious how you hope to shut Zizka up and satisfy the ones who want peace.
We'll sit and wait quietly until Sigismund withdraws of his own volition, as Jobst proposes, but we'll be waiting in the military camp of our huge new army.
When Sigismund sees that, he'll be off to Hungary all the sooner. At a gallop.
Exactly. Sigismund's army is demoralized and weakened. And besides, he's running out of resources. He's able to tackle fortresses that aren't able to defend themselves, but he won't engage in equal force on the battlefield.
But he can't retreat either. That would be a disgrace.
And that's exactly why we'll wait until he's called back to Hungary by events there. For the plan to work, we need allies, their money and their determination. We've already set the ground for it. We just need negotiators who push the right people in the right direction.
Are you saying you set everything in motion even before Jobst?
More like in parallel, but without his knowledge. If we find support and make it look like the whole thing was his idea, we'll all win.
You've got an interesting way of approaching things.
You're certainly not the first to tell me that. I take it as a compliment.
Why are you doing all this anyway?
Because I want to put a stop to the senseless deaths. And also because I'm happier with Wenceslas on the Bohemian throne.
I'll help you. What exactly should I do?
I'll give you 3 names. Bocek of Kunstadt, Haman Alder, and Anna of Waldstein. If you can get those 3 on our side, we've won the day. Meanwhile, I'll take care of Jobst.
What if it doesn't work?
I refuse to even consider that outcome. Because it would mean slow, but certain defeat for all of us.
Makaron na uszy, zajmę się tym. No właśnie, dlaczego ja, bo nie wiem, czemu ksiądz się tym zajmuje, kurde.
Because you've got a head on your shoulders. You know how to talk, and you're not just out for your own good. You and your friend Henry are similar in that respect.
Trzeba
That's
uważać,
why
jak
I
umiecie
know I
gadać, to
can
was do
count on you
roboty będą.
both. There aren't many like you two left.
I'll get on it then. Wish me luck.
I
I
wish
co, ja
us
teraz mam
both
łazić
luck.
i namawiać?
Before
Najgorsze,
the
to
day
ja
is
nie lubię tego
over,
najbardziej.
the die will be cast.
To jest najsłabsze.
Success to our plans.
Najsłabsza część gry, jaką widzę tu, to ciągłe gadanie. A jak jeszcze z 5 osobami trzeba to samo zrobić, czyli ich na przykład namówić coś, albo od nich coś wyciągnąć, to już się robi... Na szczęście jakoś to w miarę jest wybalansowane, że to nie trwa za długo,
There's
no ale
something
kurde.
I'd like to ask of you.
God be with you. What would that be?
Your diplomatic support. And your money.
Aha, dobrze
No
zagadał.
beating around the bush, eh? I like that. But what do you want my money for?
Margrave Yob's plan has some gaps, milady. We need to gather enough resources to...
To muster an army that Margrave can't afford on his own?
Christ. Be praised. You're astute.
I should say so. All sorts of people have their eyes on my money, and divining their intentions is a necessity. Although, between the two of us, it isn't hard to figure out what Liechtenstein is after.
Hit the nail on the head again, Mom. You're well informed.
I am rarely mistaken.
I'd say you have a better nose for people than most of this crowd.
Not only for people, but also for good food and wine. And beneficial deals.
Then you're in the right place. This occasion provides all of those things.
The wine here is average. The cooks lack imagination. And I have yet to hear any interesting offers. So,
Uuu,
to the point. What is it that Liechtenstein wants from you?
język cięty,
Nothing more than
kurde.
support and resources for an army to parley more effectively with Sigismund.
Nothing more? I'd say that's plenty. And why ask me for help? Why should I, of all people, take the risk?
No czekajcie. Bo sobie witaminki napuszczam. 6. Już 8 kropelek. Dobra. Wymedyk wymaga ochrony.
It's not only your money we're interested in. You're well able to negotiate and trade. And if you were to take part in our plan...
Then I'd be helpful to you on two fronts. If you want me to support you, you must give me a good reason. Perhaps a favor in return.
Do you have something in particular in mind?
Well, one of the guests here has something that shouldn't get into the wrong hands.
Who's that?
Harmon Alder. Now,
Roman Alder.
if you were to switch these papers for the ones he brought with him, I would support your proposal.
O Jezu, jakaś akcja masz.
And the papers I'm supposed to plant on Alder?
Just insignificant documents. If the incriminating ones disappeared without a trace, it would arouse suspicion.
And these papers I'm supposed to switch, what do they concern?
My relatives somehow dug up some trade contracts between myself and certain undesirable parties.
You were dealing with the enemy.
They were not the enemy at the time. My conscience is clear, but I'll rest easier when those papers are in my hands.
All right, I'll help you. Or at least I'll give it a try.
Alder will surely have the papers in his saddlebags, which he left in the shed on the outer courtyard. Bring them to me, and put these there instead. But watch yourself. Odorim's groom has eyes everywhere.
Okej. Jezus, sfałszowane dokumenty. Czy ja już jestem jakimś ninją? Czy kim ja jestem, bo już nic nie wiem. Jakbym był Henrykiem, to bym się nie przejmował. Ja się muszę napić chyba, gdzie jest jakieś wino. Bo przecież nie strzymię. Tu ktoś jest, gdzie tu ktoś jest? W stodole?
What brings you here?
Hey, you! What are you doing here? No one's allowed in here.
O kurde.
I'm waiting here for you.
Oh, how's that?
I've been watching you for a while, And I have a feeling you do well to talk a little. In conspectu Dei.
Who in God's name are you?
In God's name indeed. I'm a priest, and I know a wretched sinner when I see one.
Is it that obvious? Christ above.
Don't blaspheme. It'll help you more to confess.
Musisz się teraz
In the
wyspowiadać.
morning, when I met him, I swore I never laid eyes on his daughter. Even though my back was scratched raw from our roll in the hay.
That's a mortal sin. Lying with a woman that you're not joined with in holy matrimony. And then lying about it too. That's already 2 commandments broken for the price of 1.
I'll go to hell for that, won't I?
You won't. As long as you repent. Be contrite. Fast and pray.
10 ojczynaszów.
10 Our Fathers. Ego te absolvo.
I'll start right away. Thank you, Father.
No ale co ja tu robię? Bo poszedłem, bo był znacznik na mapie, ale nie za bardzo... Czekajcie, nie za bardzo wiem, co to jest to. A, podmień dokumenty w jukach. A, to są jakieś juki gdzieś. A, dobra. No ale czekaj, to teraz chcę mieć tu... A, nie mam Dobra, nie wiadomo, co w nich jest. No dobra, jedna robota wykonana.
Lovely tree like that. It's a nice place to rest when you're passing by in the summer. The only bit of shade far and wide.
We're trying to forge an...
O, Janżiszka. Wyglądasz nieco nieswojo.
You seem a bit out of sorts. Anything wrong?
Oh, these grand aristocratic assemblies are nothing for me. I'd be happier if they just told me in the morning how it all went and what my boys have to do next.
But then you'd miss all the grub and the booze. And the gossip.
Oh, and have you heard anything interesting here?
Panowie skrótem moja są lojalni wobec... Dobra.
Let's hope young Lord Capon manages to stay free for a while longer. Ever since leaving Ratai, he's gone from one pile of trouble to another.
That's one thing you can always count on him for. I'll gladly wager with you he'll end up in some other shit by evening.
God forbid. Henry's not here now to pull him out of it.
In that case, it'll be up to you. I'm sure you wouldn't leave him to disgrace himself in front of Hanush.
It seems Liechtenstein's looking for allies. For his own ends.
And how's he gonna do it? Didn't you see them all fighting tooth and nail here just a while ago?
Well, different approaches work with different people.
The only approach that'll work with Sigismund is open resistance.
On chce walczyć, no bo to jest, kurde, wojownik.
A lot of people think the wealthy burghers will stick with Sigismund, whether out of fear or convenience.
Well, that's to be expected. As long as Sigismund has the city council under his thumb, no one will rock the
Rada
boat.
miejska, kurde.
Well, at least there's a few individuals here.
Najważniejszy organ w państwie.
Sigismund confiscated his castle and half his estates. That'd be enough to make a man mad. Not to mention that his son was killed in the siege of the city.
Hey, where's that beer?
Coś tam się dowiedzieliśmy.
The Lord be with you. What?
A nie chcemy grać w kości, bo to... Jaki ma sens grać w kości postacią taką jak ksiądz? To nie jest nasza postać w ogóle? Dobra, idziemy gadać jeszcze do... Czekajcie, bo tu jeszcze z kimś mieliśmy zagadać. Nie. Nikogo. Pomiędzy piętrami? O co chodzi?
Not even Wojciech?
And he's a great lord.
I'd like to check your horses out. See if they're as good as you say.
Ha, even better. But you won't believe it until you see for yourself.
And you might not believe your eyes when you do see them.
Well,
We have a new guest. I wanted to...
You wanted to apologize for crashing into my home without it by your leave. Or to harass my guests some more?
I want to have a word with Older.
Well, I'm having a word with you.
I'll talk to you later, Father. This is important.
You're in my home, so you'll talk to me first. What is it you want?
Is that your...
Unfortunately. Speak up then. What are you doing here?
I came with a delegation from Sir Hanush of Lipa.
Is this a joke?
Why so strict, Martin?
20 years ago, he was nothing but a cheeky brat, only interested in wenches and booze. I got him a place at the Archbishopric to have some sense beaten into his head. Only it wasn't long before they kicked him out. And then I find out he's settled in some backwater parish in Sassau. But he took his boozing and whoring along with him, lost everything, and then came creeping home again. Huh?
Try saying it again a little louder. They might not have heard you in the outer courtyard.
You have the impertinence to show me your face after the way you disgraced our whole family?
Zhańbił rodzinę.
I wouldn't set foot here if I had a choice. Better to be a priest in some backwater than have a father like you.
How dare you?
You're as shit a father as I am a son. We've got nothing to blame each other for. And now let me speak to Older.
You're dishonoring your host.
I can't dishonor someone who has no honor. If you had any, you'd be...
That's enough!
Christopher.
You won't get away with those insults. I challenge you to a duel.
Ja?
I'm not happy about it. This isn't how I imagined my first meeting with my brother.
To jest jego brat.
Make room for us. We'll just
Kto
settle
cię nie
a
zablokował?
very private matter. It's an honorable duel, man against man. Stay back.
Look in my eyes, not at my sword.
Christ! Shit! Take that!
You don't know which end of that thing is up.
Good day, good day.
No i dostał 2 razy w lepę i koniec.
My God. Where
Taki
did you learn
brat,
to
kurde.
wield a sword like that? Father always said you were a good-for-nothing boozer. But you could teach sword fighting in a school.
No ty, wszyscy się zestrali. O co chodzi? Co to znaczy, że się wszyscy... Kto cię zablokował? Byłem na wojnie. Ja nawet nie wiem, kim ty jesteś codziennie ten dzień. Byłem na wojnie. Na wsi nie ma
Well, you
lekko.
know how it is. The countryside is tough. It's dog eat dog. And you ought to know yourself. Not all the faults that Father sees are real.
Aye. Well, I apologize for going off like that. I had to, so that...
So Father would be satisfied. I know. Only he'll never be satisfied. The sooner you realize that, the better.
I thought he was the way he was because his first son let him down. And he hoped at least his second would become something.
Not at
Zawsze
all.
taki był.
I remember him the same since I was a nipper. When I was 6
Rodzinne
years
rozmowy,
old,
kurde.
I fell off a horse and broke my leg. He wouldn't talk to me for a week because I'd let him down.
The first time he took me hunting. He let me
No przecież
starve
ten
for
koleś
3
wygląda jak
days until I
Henryk.
was able
Oni
to
wszyscy
shoot
mają
my
te same
first
twarze w
hare.
tej grze.
Only 3 days.
Najlepsza grafika. Kingdom Come,
soft.
najlepsza grafika. I tylko widoczki.
I always wondered who you were. There was never much talk about you at
Czy oni
home.
wszyscy tak samo
Look, I
wyglądają?
really did fuck up everything I could. I brawled and boozed until they threw me out of my own parish. But now, I have a chance to put things to rights a little.
And that's why you want to talk to Older.
Muszę przyciągnąć go na naszą stronę.
Aye. The outcome of this war depends on it.
That sounds very important, considering you and Older are both pretty small players. After your encounter with Father, it
Pewnie cię
won't be
Bąkol
easy to get to
zablokował.
Older. Actually, I
Się w
don't think
ogóle
you should
nie
even
zna na
attempt it.
widzach.
Unless you want to anger Father even more.
What else can I do, though?
I'll talk to him myself. He'll hear me out for sure. But you'll have to trust me and tell me what it's all about.
All right, then. You've heard Yob's plan, right? It's a nice idea, but we can't wait around without an army to back us up.
Only no one's going to pay for one, because that would be an outright admission of rebelling against Sigismund.
Alder's got some clout with the councillors and burghers who are loyal to Sigismund. If he agrees, they'll follow.
I expect Alder's not the only one you're after.
You got that right.
Leave Alder to me. The plan sounds sensible, and he's no fool.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can drag me to a tavern sometime. Pa doesn't need to know about it.
You're starting to sound like a brother.
No dobra, aha, już zdobyłem poparcie, a nawet jeszcze oni nie zagadali do siebie, no ale dobra, zakładam, że to jest misja udana.
I've got those papers.
Quiet!
Lady, with all the clamor going on here, I can hardly hear my own thoughts. Here they are.
You're more capable.
You're welcome.
Dziękuję za pomoc.
As agreed.
Thank you.
Dobra,
Yes, quite.
dogadane.
How could I refuse a toast with such...
And for
Twoje
the
zdrowie.
success...
Dobra. No to mi jeszcze została jedna osoba do zagadania. Ale nie wiem, gdzie się chyba wessało. A, Boczek.
I need to speak
Ser
with you.
Boczek z Kunsztadu.
Man hardly puts his cup to his lips and someone comes along to put a flea in his ear. Jobs comes up with a plan as full of holes as a beggar's shoes, and now you're all jostling to win me over for him.
On the contrary, I've come here with an idea how to improve it.
Does that improvement include a few thousand men at arms? If not, you can go to the devil with it.
A few thousand men at arms as a convincing argument. And 100 horsemen on top. Only in order to get them, we need coin.
You've got my attention, but not my money yet.
Are we not on the same side?
We are, but an alliance is of no use if it doesn't also guarantee safety.
Of course. Once it comes to protecting property, ideals go out the window.
You can talk, since you haven't got a pot to piss in yourself. If you were in my position, you'd think differently. I have a lot of property, lots of subjects to look after, and along with that, the Lord blessed me with a large family. I can't risk it all in a conflict with Sigismund.
So you need guarantees that you won't be left standing in the cold if you openly oppose
Gwarancje
Sigismund.
bezpieczeństwa on
My
potrzebuje.
guarantee is called Yitka. She's my niece. If I succeeded in marrying her
Judytka.
off to another strong house, I'll have the certainty that I won't be left alone.
Maybe it's
No,
enough to
uciekaj,
find a
trzymaj się
suitable groom among the allies.
Perhaps someone of suitable standing who Yitka would also gladly accept. I don't want her to be
My
unhappy.
nawet po 5 minut. O, a młody pan ptaszek?
How about young Lord Capon?
He's a youngster still.
Gołowąs.
What's wrong with him? He's young, he's handsome, women are fighting over him. Yitka will like him, and he'll give her a whole bunch of children.
And to half the wenches in his domain too, eh? On the other hand,
O kurde.
the lords of Lipa have a good... Maybe it's not such...
So,
You're selling the skin of a boar. First, I want a confirmation that the wedding...
and
Dobra.
what?
I don't care what the young... If he agrees, I'll be...
Push
The
Dobra,
kingdom
muszę
will
iść
not
namówić
forget his...
ptaszka. Żeby się... Ale to chyba nie będzie zbyt proste, bo ptaszek chyba nie jest zainteresowany.
Sir Hanush, I bring happy tidings.
You do? Let's hear it then.
Ptaszek się żeni.
I've gained us a powerful ally.
And who is it? I hope it's not one of those Kuttenberg stuffed guts.
On the contrary, it's Bocek, the elder of Kunstadt and Podjebrad.
Kunstadt? By Christ, he's the last one I'd have expected to step up. How the hell did you do it?
Well, I explained to him how such an alliance could be mutually beneficial.
Musimy najpierw go trochę zmiękczyć.
What do you mean?
He's got a pretty serious personal interest in this... bond.
Stop beating around the bush and spit out what you promised him.
Lord Kunstad has a niece, so... I arranged a betrothal for young Lord Capon, with your blessing if you agree.
Hans Capon is to marry Yitka of Kunstad. Godwin, you conniving old bastard!
Oh, fuck.
I don't believe it. So, young Hans is to marry Kunstad's daughter?
Niece.
If you're serious, I'll make sure that you get the Rattay parish.
Or you could make me the abbot of Sassa. Or what about a bishopric?
Forget it. Soon I'll
No,
be
czyli im
paying
się
for a
podoba ten
wedding.
pomysł.
Not a word to Hans. I want to tell him myself. But let's drink to it, shall we?
Cheers!
Cheers to you!
Najlepsze to jest, że Hopa właśnie ożenili Hopa, a tam już wiecie, on nic o tym nie wie. Dobra, Boczek, mamy cię.
So, Boczek, you need...
So Hanush agreed.
Indeed.
Tak,
Then I will
zgadza się.
fulfill
Thank you.
enough formality.
Dziękuję.
We'll
No
Cheers to the...
Here's to...
Na zdrowie, dobra. Idziemy. Powtórz z Liechtensteinem, Janem z Liechtensteinu o wsparciu. No tak, my już mamy wsparcie wszystkich.
Gentlemen, I think we can raise our goblets to the successful conclusion of the negotiations.
Is this supposed to be your secret weapon?
Like I said, miracles happen where you least expect them. Tell me, Godwin of the House of Odorin, what news do you bring us?
I bring nothing from the House of Odorin. But the widow of Waldstein and Sir Boczek of Kunstad will support our cause.
Both of them. Good heavens, what did you promise them?
This is going to be a long story, and I could use a drink. So if you'll excuse me, my lords?
No i konkluzja tych całych negocjacji.
It would seem that we have all benefited from the break in these proceedings. New alliances have been formed. And I have also changed my plans. We shall still wait for Sigismund to withdraw his troops of his own accord. But we will wait with an army at our backs.
Yes. And how are we to raise an army? Wasn't it made clear at the meeting that no one wants to take the risk?
The only thing made clear was that each of us alone is weak, and that we could not find common ground. But that has now changed.
Mina żydowska
King
tutaj.
Wenceslas is, by the will of God, the bogatym of all his subjects. Not only the Christians, our community, and not only ours, will give you coin.
The Kuttenberg houses are still loyal to King Wenceslaus, and we stand with Lord Ruthard.
And if that's not enough, the houses of Leipa and Kunstadt will unite and march side by side.
Muszę ta baba nie wyskoczy, że będzie przygoda,
My
kurde.
niece, Yitka, will take young Lord Capon as her husband.
Jam ptaszek, koniec balowania.
Lords Kunstadt, Hanush, Radzig, and I will set out immediately. God willing, we will be back within 3 weeks, along with an army.
Now those are words worthy of a nobleman.
My friend, I
czyli
still
o to
believe
chodzi.
that words are more powerful than swords. And
Bo
our
cała gra
words
się zaczęła od tego, że
will
zamek
ring
nam
in a
podbijają i nas
thousand
pokonują.
voices
Możliwe,
to
że
the glory
ta
of
armia ich
King
uratuje na sam
Wenceslas.
koniec. Pewnie to jest spoiler duży, ale tak musi być. Waszczysław.
After we conquered the city, you promised to restore order immediately. And then I find out things are even more disordered than before.
Your Majesty,
No to wróciliśmy do Zygmunta.
we will put it to rights.
You've already said that. I want to hear real solutions.
We will put more guards on the roads and toughen penalties. We can have a few captured bandits executed as an example to others.
We do not care about bandits. We care about rebellious nobles and burghers. What will you do with them? How will you solve the chaos in the town administration, the rebellious miners, and the dismal yields? And how is it even possible that a rebellion against the king is smoldering here in the city?
What do you mean, sire?
I hear the resistance is coming from the Jewish quarter, from right under your noses. Why haven't you done anything?
We don't know who is behind this. Without evidence, we cannot punish them.
Otto von Berghoff did not ask questions in Prague either. He acted. And I advise you to do the same.
Pacyfikacja.
Find a couple of wretches in a hole somewhere. Point them to the Jewish quarter and give them free rein. To do anything. The city's Jewish community was and still is on Wenceslas' side. They need a warning.
We do not even have enough men to...
Marquardt, could you spare a few men for a while?
Of course, sire. I'll assign them to Eric. He'll take care of it.
So you see? All you have to do is make sure the city rebel get their share. You could at least manage that, couldn't you? And if the thought should cross your minds that you would get rid of the debts to the Jewish moneylenders this way, forget about it. Your debts will remain, up to the last groschen. Only now you owe us directly. And while we are on the subject of money, has the yield from the mines finally matched last year's?
Sire, the deposits are dwindling, and mining is becoming increasingly difficult. And to make matters worse, the miners started rebelling.
Don't take us for a fool. They'll stop rebelling when you pay them proper wages.
Your Majesty, we can't do that.
Silence!
Nie mogą za dużo
How
płacić.
dare you oppose the kingdom's protector? You're a bunch of incompetent sycophants. Chicken shits. Not any better than the scum hiding in the forest.
I apologize, sire. I'll do everything in my power to...
All I hear from you over and over again are excuses and prevarication. And results? None. I therefore placed the city council under the authority of Sir Marquardt von Aulitz, who is present here, with immediate effect. He will make sure you finally do your duty.
But, sire, that would be a violation of the privileges granted to us as a free mining town.
Silence! I am the only guarantor of your rights. You have to earn your privileges, not hide behind them. During my brother's reign, this idleness was perhaps tolerated. But that is over now. You were given a few simple tasks. But instead of working on them, you idled in the baths and lined your pockets. And let the traitors cast their nets undisturbed. But unlike my brother, I am capable of creating order. And I assure you, I do not distinguish between those who stand in my way. Be they beggars, noblemen, or city councillors. You have 2 weeks to restore order in the city and increase mining output. I want clear results. And you answer only to me and Sir Marquardt von Aulitz now. No one else. The council is dismissed.
The poker face.
You, don't go anywhere, boy. Be so kind and remain here. Our throat has become rather dry. And we still wish to speak with our friend von Aulitz.
Yes, sire. As you wish, sire.
Between the two of us, Marquardt, was I not perhaps too harsh on them? And speak candidly, we have had enough of false flattery.
Sire, you were harsh, but rightfully so. These councillors, they need to be shown their place. You suffered their insolence for far too long. And the same is true.
Kurde, ta muzyka taka głośna, nic nie słychać co gra.
We know. Otto repeated to us several times that it is time to strike against them. We are glad he's not here. He would be intolerably self-satisfied if he knew we had heeded him.
Boy, can't you see the king's cup is empty?
You tend to us as if we were infirm. Boy, pour us a monastic wine. The monks had a good year. We have concerns, friend.
Czekajcie, które to było? Bo ja już nie wiem. Mniszne to, który to było. Czekajcie. Kurde, które to było mniszne wino? Białe? Czerwone piwniczne i białe... Chyba białe mniszne. Czerwone klasztorne. Kurde, nie pamiętam. Ktoś to pamięta? Muszę sprawdzić na Google. Kingdom Deliverance. No. Czekajcie. Co to jest? Jeżeli się pomylimy, dobra, wleję białe. Dobra, chyba czerwone było klasztorne.
Are you deaf? His Majesty asked for red wine.
If our father were still alive, he would have been astonished by the mess that a few years of Wenceslas' reign brought to us. With a single word,
No nie mogę mu nalać.
put the nobility in their place and the country would flourish. God grant him eternal glory.
We won't need much more time. We'll arrest the traitor Odorin, and the rest will fall in line.
You say
Kurde,
the
no nie
others will be
umiem.
brought into line.
Nie wiem, jak je nalać.
But what do you know of them? We know only a few of them. But there's a fortress standing on every damn hill here. What side are their lords on?
We'll find out soon enough.
Nie wiem, coś jest nie tak.
If only Wenceslas
To jest czerwone, tak?
stubborn ass and relinquish that throne that he has no use for anyway. The nobility, on the other hand, found a ruler like him very useful. They made a puppet out of him.
Once you restore order, they'll join you. All you have to do is promise them the privileges they lost during
Nie wiem,
Wenceslas'
nie wiem o co chodzi. Nie mogę mu nalać tego
First,
wina.
they'll have to be willing to make peace at least among themselves. Jobs does everything he can to sow chaos, so that he
Step away
himself
from the
emerges
king.
victorious
Now!
in the end. This business
No nie
makes
mogę
me
tu
thirsty.
podejść.
Pour me
O
some of
Jezu,
that
teraz.
red, boy.
Teraz dopiero.
He'll switch sides when it suits him.
Maybe. But first I'll have to conquer a few more cities and get a couple more lords on my side. Then they take the threat of war seriously. And Hungary. If Bohemia is a wasp nest, then Hungary is a viper's lair.
You will follow in his footsteps, sire. as soon as you get the chance.
But the wine is good here. To your health, Marquardt. And to your health too, boy. May your children grow in a land ruled by a good king. You did a good job, waiter. You can be proud of yourself.
To your health, your majesty.
Pogratulował mi król. To bardzo dobrze wykonaną misję, że każdy wina dostał takiego, jakiego potrzebuje.
We're working on it. While the consul was meeting, Otto von Berghoff and his men set out for Rabosch. Alderin won't give you any more trouble.
Na Radbusz.
Once we get Oderlin, we can handle Ruthard easily. Rabosch will be yours. After all, Otto has already got Malishov.
I appreciate your confidence, sire.
But the devil knows there are a lot more strongholds to conquer here.
For the king, red wine, boy.
No, we shall have white. We have had enough of red.
White it is. Quickly.
Myślę, że to jedna z ważniejszych spraw na tych spotkaniach.
I think von Berghoff's little contraption will find its use again.
We could use it to raise this town hall too. And I have some suggestions for the candidates.
Not so fast, my friend. It's a wondrous tool, but we can't rely on it forever.
But to bring it here to the square and point it at the city hall? Those sycophants would only benefit from a warning like that.
It's a splendid idea, but it won't be necessary. The councillors are quite fearful enough already that they can hide nothing from us.
There's been enough fretting, sire. You shall see. Soon we will drink to the conquest of another fortress.
You are right. So then, to victory. And you, boy, will you drink with us? So that you shall have something to tell your children and grandchildren.
To victory, sire.
To today's, and those of the future.
Ale tak mi się spodoba, że mnie wezmą na ten. No weźmie mnie na sługi swojego i już nie będzie misji żadnych innych. Ci są w tym Radbożu, nie? O ja pierdolę, pewno jest Lichtenstein świętuj z gościem.
You in need of something, my well-oiled friend?
I'd like to drink a toast with you to our joint success. As they say, all's well that ends well. So, to brighter tomorrows.
Touching.
Come now.
I never had
Truly.
Oh, maybe once. The older I get, the...
See now. Only, there's no... Fuck.
I've got a tongue like a slice...
Well, get...
His lordship is so unsteady on his lips.
To hell with that. I had my eye on him and left the red...
You can bet on it.
I don't...
Dobra. Co mam przynieść? Wino, tak? Dobrze mówię? Gdzie to jest? Znajdź dzban wina. To jest dzban.
Be quiet.
Must be made in queue. Parish priest has quite a view. Sweating at the altar, nearly drops his psalter. Alleluia Domine, Alleluia Domine.
Stop shouting, you fool!
Nie wiem, czy to są te dzbany, co mam przynieść, czy to jeszcze jakiś inny dzban.
Now we close our doors for the evening. People here know what to do. There'll be plenty more tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday too.
You can drink and stuff your craw anywhere, even at home. It's about...
Duży jest ten obszar poszukiwania. Oj.
Hunger, poverty and plague, it's too much for a man to take. Even men of faith are cowering, faced by evil overpowering.
Angel of Christ, holy guardian and protector of my soul and body, forgive me every transgression
Co
which I
tam
have
jest?
committed this day, and deliver me from every craft of my enemy and adversary. May I not anger my God
Co tam
by
się
any
dzieje?
sin. The Lord Almighty grant us a peaceful night and a perfect end. Amen.
Nie wiem, gdzie to wino.
Like I said, find the whole affair quite...
The day scrubbing that floor.
Sorry.
From cleaning up this...
Przyda cię uratać. Gdzie znajdę
I
dzban
need
z tego
help
wina?
with something. I mean the ones with the really good wine that the Lord saves for his nearest and dearest.
And you're one of those?
I should say so. I'm his son.
And I'm the king's daughter. Anyway, I don't know nothing about no wine. In case you haven't noticed, I'm sweeping the floor, and I'm about to mop up vomit. Try asking my ma. She's the cook.
I've come to rescue you.
Really? What?
Well, it occurred...
Off do you play die?
You mean...
You strip if you like.
All right.
O kurde, muszę z nią w kości wygrać. Witold Pyrka, dzięki za słupka. O shit. O fuck.
Why would he do that? If he was so craven as to run away from the first army that crossed his path, he would never have made it all the way here.
Let it be now. I want to play too, you know.
Spokojnie, Bobo. Dobra. Słabo. No, ona też nie ma jakiejś super kości. O, fuck!
Here's hoping.
Okej, dobra. Pomyliłem się.
Just like that.
To mnie pozamiatała jednym rzutem. Zaraz wygra, no właśnie. Chyba, że spali teraz. Kurde, nie. Koniec.
Good game.
Dobra.
Everybody likes a drop of white. The red'll be good, I hope.
Ja musimy tą matkę znaleźć, bo tu trzeba wyjaśnić sprawę tego, które wino jest najlepsze. A ona gotuje, to ona gotowała piętro niżej, nie? Nie, tu gdzieś kuchnia była, nie?
Only? Gracious,
May I interrupt you? You already did.
What's the matter?
At least you can tell by the name that the horse is immensely valuable.
One of the most all over the place. I meant the really fine wine.
No way. Sir Martin ordered...
Oh, come on. If I go and get it...
All right. Them pictures are on a table in the cellar.
Now off you go and leave us...
Pardon?
Aha, no to ja tam byłem, ale myślałem, że to jeszcze jakieś lepsze winy. Lepsze jakieś wino będzie, nie? Tylko które...
Red is a good choice.
No red jest good choice i idziemy.
Now there's a piece of horseflesh for you, Rudhart. Not like that nag of yours.
Ale czy na nich ta armia nie jedzie właśnie?
What the hell do you beat it with? It looks more like a damn bull.
Sir! Sir! There's some horsemen right out front of the fortress.
Ah, that's Peter of Pisac. He wouldn't come to the council, but he is coming happily to the celebration, you old fox.
Chyba nie.
Come on in, sir. There's wine aplenty.
Hey! Hey! Intruders! Enemies at the gates!
Seize the nobles! Kill the rest!
Wjeżdżam w to. Trzeba było tyle nie pić.
Jesus! The surrounding crystal! He can't make it on his own.
Take that!
He's nearly got me!
Come on, then! Show what you're made of! And one step back! Stand your ground! Next! Cover your head, damn it!
Bend right reading sword head.
Shit! He's nearly got me!
Don't stand it! Die! Fuck off!
I'll be show what you're made of! Bloody hope!
Come on, Ken! Right! Find those horses out!
Don't kill it!
Fucking hell, he knows how to sword fight!
Dobra. Kurde, walka trwa. No i co? Przypał. Shit. A Henryk jedzie ich ostrzec, a to już za późno. Ale co, nic żadnego wojska za sobą nie mieli ci panowie? Pomóż swoim przyjaciołom. Aha. Dobra, jestem tu.
Quick!
No dobra, jestem Henryczkiem, moi drodzy, przerwa.